Good evening. Tonight we are out chasing the Milky Way. We're over in Wairarapa, and the first spot that I've chosen to stop is at All Saints Church. You can see it's a little bit cold. There's a bit of a frost. Well, not right here, but there was in the shady spot along the roadside there was a bit of a frost. Yeah, so let's just keep warm as we take some photos around the church. The Milky Way core should be right in the background of the church. Alright, let's go and see what we can get. Apologies about the lighting. So you might be able to see a wee church in the distance. We've got the tripod set up. We've got the wide angle, although we've zoomed in to 24 mils. Yep, so the 14 to 24. It might be that we change that in a second. So we've got cabbage trees on either side, which is quite cool. Yep, you can't really see it, but if I walk up to them later, maybe we can see it. And let's just see what the exposure for the foreground looks like. Oh, it looks quite dark. Okay. That's a bummer. So we just might need to bump up the ISO. Yeah, we might need to stack some of these. Anyway, for the foreground, we'll turn this big light off and we'll aim for about 2 minutes. Cool. So 2 minutes waiting around in the cold, standing still is quite a long time. And I guess those Astro Milky Way shots for me take pretty much all night. And that's because, so rock up in the night. I haven't been to this place before. So again, some prep would be quite helpful. But yeah, I tend to take a few different shots. And of course you need to expose for the foreground. And then I do some stacking for the Milky Way itself. Some people would use a tracker. I've got the move, shoot, move in the car, but I've not really used it. So I'm just going with things that I know. Oh, here we go. Hopefully that looks a bit better. There's the church. Hoorah! Okay, and so with that, I think we'll do some exposures for the Milky Way, which means we'll need to bump up the ISO a whole heap. Because we are at 24 mils, maybe we'll just have a test shot at 10 seconds and see what that looks like. Yep, so you can wait out 10 seconds with me. Nope, pays to know where all the buttons are in the dark, doesn't it? That's better. Great. Don't know if you can see. Let's try and expose it on there. Cool, so the stars are, well, tack sharp, no trails. So what I'll do now is just set the south timer. But we will take, let's just do a 2 second. But 9 shots, and we'll let that roll. It's likely that I'll do at least 3 rounds of 9 shots. Okay, I'm back in the car. Now we've got 2 compositions, one at 14mm and one at 24mm, both vertical orientation. Yeah, hopefully they'll be okay. Righty, now to scout out for the next spot. Okay, so now second destination is on Mount Dick. You may remember this place from the last video where we shot the balloons over Wairarapa for Easter weekend. I'm just curious to know how much light pollution there might be. The Milky Way is over there, toward Masterton at the moment. So this probably isn't going to work, but we will grab a quick shot whilst we are here. We've got the wide angle again, 40mm. Probably is better to have some sort of fisheye, but don't have that, so it's okay. So I've got the car light on so you can see me, but I might just have to go and turn the car light off. Yep. That's exactly what I'll just do. I seem to be running quite cold myself tonight, which is a nuisance. Oh well. Brr. Can't remember where I put the tripod. Alrighty, I'm now down at Wairarapa Gorge. It's the second time I've been down here this morning. The first time the Milkyway wasn't quite in the position that I wanted it to be in, but I've since been up to the Remutaka Hill trig to capture some Milkyway behind sort of ANZAC memorial, because it is ANZAC Day today, so that's nice and fitting. And I've driven back. It's about 50 minutes each way here. So I've come back, the Milky Way is aligned, and so we're going to take a photo of me up on a swing bridge. Yeah, I've seen it before from another photographer, and it looked pretty darn awesome. So I thought I'd give it a go. Got my red jacket on for a bit of contrast. Yep, and my heat torch, which I will turn on soon. The tripod is down on the riverbed, and I am hopeful that it will stay safe and sound there. I'm going to turn the camera around, and you can see, yeah, the swing bridge. How cool. Right, so I have no idea where I'm supposed to position myself, but we'll just wait and see. I'll pick some spots and see if I can try and spot the tripod. I really can't because it's pretty pitch black. So that was a good wee challenge. I just finished my first attempt at being a model on the swing bridge. It was a wee bit shaky, and I suspect I'm a little bit blurry because the shutter was 15 seconds. But we'll head down and review some of that footage now. It's very likely that I'll have to come up and do it again, and that's okay. I'm mindful that, you know, the night will run out. I've been super lucky to have as much cloud-free night as I have tonight, and I've got hopefully 3 nice photos. One of the church, one of the war memorial, and one of me on a swing bridge, all with the Milky Way. Yeah, how cool. It'll be a full night without sleep, and I apologise to my wife and children because I'm going to be a little bit probably absent today, but I'll do my best. Right, as I make my way down the hill, I'm forever mindful that my tripod has just been sitting there probably for the last 10 minutes or longer. It's right by the river edge, but yeah, as I say, hopeful that it's okay and that it's got some good footage. Just fingers crossed. I had a wireless shutter release remote, trigger and receiver, but I've just left them right beside the camera because I wasn't quite sure whether the receiver and trigger would communicate at the distance between the camera and the bridge, well, with me on the bridge. So instead we'll probably get a bit of a time-lapsey thing. Oh, just lots of photos that you could put together as a time-lapse. I probably won't. But yeah, that's how I set up the continuous shooting of 15 seconds. And we will review that very shortly. Gosh, it takes forever to get down, doesn't it, when you want to go and see something? The old saying, good things take time. I don't want to take too much time. Okay, pause the video and I'll see you down the bottom. And look at that, the camera is still there. I wonder if it's foggy. Nope. Good, not foggy. And here's that remote shutter. There it is. Gosh, this viewing angle isn't so good. There it is. Great. And the setup looks like this. So we can probably turn that off now. Stop. Got a bit of a stuffy nose. Let's hit the review. Oh. That's right, we just waved a light in front of the camera, so it makes sense that it looks a bit like that. Righty, let's scroll. I wonder whether we just turn this off. Let's just turn this light off. See if we can get that to settle down a bit. Righty, scroll time. Right, well, I'm up there. I'm very small. Yeah. How did I do? I don't really know. Can't see the red jacket, so that's a bummer. Okay, so we'll need to do that shot again. We've zoomed in somewhat. Well, we're at 24mm, and I'm not going up to the car to get anything else. So we'll stay with that lens. I've come to accept that my head torch might not be bright enough to get the effect, and it might be that we have to use this other light to work as a bit of a flash, maybe. We'll see. I'd love to see the orange jacket, so it might have to light me up some way. Alrighty, so back up to the top we go. Okay, so that's my second attempt standing on the bridge, getting the shot. It's actually quite a nice swing bridge, hey? This swing bridge leads to quite a few tramps in the Tararuas, which is a national park, a forest park. I've made it back to the camera for the second time. Unfortunately, having the light tube light me up blew out the exposure a lot, so that doesn't look so good. I had a couple where I had the light tube turned off. Yeah, they were okay. The image I remember really had people quite large in the frame, but I am so tiny, even when zoomed in. So I guess it's maybe just another look. Yeah, I'll have to think about whether we go for a 35 or a 50 perhaps next time, if I get here again. Plenty of other locations to scout out and try shooting. But anyway, thanks for tagging along. Hopefully it hasn't been too boring. I've certainly had a wee adventure. 3 locations for Milkyway in one night. That's pretty good for me. Alrighty, see you in the next video. See ya.